Peace and love. Here I am on law.com. Search legal terms and definitions. All right. If you don't have access to a Black's Law dictionary, message me. I'll send you a link for your own 6th edition Black's Law dictionary at a very reasonable price. All right. I'll find you a deal. So here's the definition of the word slander. Noun, oral defamation in which someone tells one or more persons an untruth about another, which untruth will harm the reputation of the person defamed. Slander is a civil wrong or tort and can be the basis for a lawsuit. Damages, payoff or worth for slander may be limited to actual, special damages unless there is malicious intent, since such damages are usually difficult to specify and harder to prove. Some statements, such as an untrue accusation of having committed a crime, having a loathsome disease, or being unable to perform one's occupation, are treated as slander per se, since the harm and malice are obvious and therefore usually result in general and even punitive damage recovery by the person harmed. Words spoken over the air on television or radio are treated as libel or written defamation and not slander, on the theory that broadcasting reaches a large audience as much of it, if not more, than printed publications. From the law.com newswire. There's your source. All rights reserved, without prejudice. All right. This information is strictly for educational and informational purposes only. And with that being said, here we are on the Federal Bureau of Investigation. All right, report threats, scams, and safety. Most wanted. Let's look at their definition of a sovereign citizen, or which is defined under domestic terrorism. All right, domestic terrorism, Americans attacking Americans because of U.S. based extremist ideologies, comes in many forms in our post 9/11 world. To help educate the public, we've previously outlined two separate domestic terror threats: eco-terrorists, animal rights extremists, and lone offenders. Today we look at a third threat, the sovereign citizen extremist movement. Sovereign citizens are anti-government extremists who believe that even though they physically reside in the country, they are separate or sovereign from the United States. As a result, they believe they don't have to answer to any government authority, including courts, taxing entities, motor vehicles, department, or law enforcement. This causes all kinds of problems and crimes. For example, many sovereign citizens don't pay taxes, they hold illegal courts that issue warrants for judges and police officers, they clog up the court system with frivolous liens against public officials to harass them, and they use fake money orders, personal checks, and the like at government agencies, banks, and businesses. That's just the beginning. Not every action taken in the name of sovereign citizen ideology is a crime. Let me repeat that. Not every action taken in the name of sovereign citizen ideology is a crime, but the list of illegal actions committed by these groups, cells, and individuals is extensive and puts them squarely on our radar. In addition to the above, sovereign citizens commit murder and physical assault, threaten judges, law enforcement professionals, and government personnel, impersonate police officers and diplomats, use fake currency, passport, license plates, and driver's licenses, and engineer various white-collar scams, including mortgage fraud and so-called redemption schemes. Sovereign citizens are often confused with extremists from the militia movement. But while sovereign citizens sometimes use or buy illegal weapons, guns are secondary to their anti-government, anti-tax beliefs. On the other hand, guns and paramilitary training are paramount to militia groups. During the past year, we've had a number of investigative success involving sovereign citizens. A few recent cases in Sacramento. Two sovereign citizens were convicted of running a fraudulent insurance scheme. All right. Three sovereign citizens in Kansas were convicted of taking part in conspiracy using phony diplomatic credentials. In Las Vegas, four men affiliated with the sovereign citizen movement were arrested by Nevada. All right. Now let's look at something else, right? Let's see what else we got here. If it'll do it. Let's see. I'm trying to search. Well, something to think about. All right. Let's also go back to that legal definition. There's a legal law dictionary real quick. Let's look up the word P section. And I'm looking for a word. Maybe you already know what it is. Go. So, what is all this to prove, or show, or emphasize, or highlight? Well, are so that way you know how to protect yourself. All right? You must protect yourself and stay out at all times. The word I'm looking for is not here. I was looking for the word profiling. But nonetheless, good lesson for the day. Peace and love. Have a great one.